Hi, this is Alessio. Hope you're well. In this video, we're going to do a quick update and outlook on Bitcoin. As you can see here, Bitcoin's movement has once again become quite parabolic. We can see that Bitcoin has managed to surge further higher above the wave 3 highs that we had here, and it's now approaching our next potential wave 5 target near the 10,000 level. You may remember in a video that I posted just last week, I mentioned this. I said that Bitcoin is potentially forming the next wave 5, and since wave 3 and 4 have already completed, therefore the next wave 5 target near the 1272 extension near 9,500 would be the next likely target, and then of course above that would be the 1618 wave 5 target at the 10,000 levels. And as you can see here, Bitcoin currently has already gone above the first 1272 wave 5 target, above the 9,500 level, as we can see here. That puts, of course, the next likely target at 10,000 very close to where we're at right now. It's possible by the time you're watching this video, we may already have gone above that 1618 10,000 level wave 5 target. Now, here's the thing. We need to be very careful here because it's very likely that by the time we reach, if we reach 10,000, it's quite likely even more FOMO might set into the market because 10,000 is psychological resistance, and it's quite probable that by the time we get there, and if we get there, that a lot more people could start pouring into Bitcoin. Why? Because it becomes news. The media starts talking about it, and it may potentially drive, more of the FOMO crowd into the Bitcoin market. Now, here's what's important to actually pay attention to. If you take a look at previous parabolic rallies in Bitcoin, like those that happened in 2017 and also in 2015, you will notice something very interesting. This is a parabolic move that occurred in 2016 as an example. Notice how when the price of Bitcoin goes suddenly in this sort of a parabolic rise, the risk of a sudden drop back down to some key support levels increases. Okay, so whenever Bitcoin becomes extremely parabolic in its movement, the risk of a sudden correction or a major correction down to the 100 moving average does increase significantly. So we need to be very cautious about these moves. You may remember in a video that I posted just recently, I said that Bitcoin has a habit of testing its 100 moving average. In fact, it's done this many times in the past, as you can see here. Take a look at 2017, for example. Came to the 100 moving average, bounced. 100 moving average, boom, bounced. 100 moving average, bounced. And so on, another bounce over here, as you can see there. So what does that mean? It means that this pattern tends to repeat itself on Bitcoin. And by the way, it doesn't just happen on Bitcoin. It happens also on some of the other cryptos. Take a look at this. I noticed this just recently on Dash. This is the chart of Dash. And as you can see here, Dash just a few months ago, back in April and in May, came to the 100 moving average, held it, bounced. Came to the 100 moving average, that orange line you see there, held it, bounced. And not just Dash, also Cardano. This is the chart of Cardano. And as you can see here, very similar thing happened here on Cardano. Major rally higher, then retracement down to the 100 moving average. This red line you see here is the 100 simple moving average. So I'm using two lines on my chart here. The orange line is the EMA, the 100 exponential moving average, and the 100 simple moving average, the red line you see there. So what happens is that price has a habit of, whenever it goes parabolic, notice this parabolic moving Cardano, then major retracement down to the 100 EMA and the 100 SMA, potentially. I mean, we don't know which of these it might test, but usually it holds one or the other. All right, as you can see here, it held the 100 SMA quite beautifully and then bounced off very nicely. Now, let's not forget, there's always a risk that price may go below the 100 moving averages, which is why, of course, every professional trader would use a stop loss. Okay, let's go back to the chart of Bitcoin. By the way, let me also mention that the long positions, the small positions we opened up on Bitcoin recently, which was about near these levels, has been doing quite nicely, as you can see here. It's been making some gains, and we have moved the stop loss higher now to just below the 8,800 levels. And I'll be looking to close these positions quite soon, as a matter of fact, once we hit some important targets. Anyway, as far as Bitcoin is now concerned, let me just zoom out a little bit. As you can see here, Bitcoin currently has these moving averages just beneath it. And that's at the 100 EMA and the 100 SMA. As I mentioned before, Bitcoin has a habit of testing these levels. Now, we don't know exactly when these levels could get tested, and the bottom line is it doesn't really matter. All we have to really wait for is for Bitcoin's parabolic move to potentially end, and the parabolic movement could potentially end maybe in the next few weeks once it hits some key levels. And then very likely we could start quite a nasty retracement. So what I'm really looking for is some kind of retracement that looks a bit like this, what you see here on this chart. So parabolic movement, rise higher, and then a nasty potential correction or drop down to the 100 moving averages. So something that might look like that on Bitcoin is quite likely. and indeed probable, if not certain. Which means that once Bitcoin's parabolic movement, once this rally finally ends, then we could be looking for, again, this could end near 10,000 or potentially even higher. Bottom line is, it doesn't really matter. We'll just wait for the momentum to fizzle out, wait for this move to finally reverse direction, and then we'll be looking for some kind of retracement back down to these 100 moving averages that we've been looking at in this video. One more thing to mention also is quite dangerous to actually stand in front of this market. It is a bit quite risky and dangerous to short this market because it's a bit like standing in front of a freight train. By the way, guys, very soon I'm going to post a video about whether Bitcoin has not bottomed, and that video will be coming potentially this weekend. So guys, make sure, if you haven't done this already, please click on the bell icon next to the subscribe button. And guys, if you like this video, please also give it a thumbs up. Thanks very much indeed. I'll see you guys in the next update. Bye for now.